Can you paint over a wood deck that has fungal growth? A fresh coat of paint may seem like the easiest fix, but covering fungal growth can actually hide a much bigger problem. No, painting over a wood deck with fungal growth traps moisture and can accelerate wood rot. Extensively damaged wood should be professionally replaced rather than simply painted over. Fungal growth feeds on the natural fibers within wood, weakening the boards and allowing deterioration to continue beneath the paint. Paint is intended to create a finished protective surface, but it cannot restore wood that has already become weak or deteriorated. When fungal growth is covered without addressing the affected material, the surface may appear improved temporarily while moisture and deterioration remain underneath. The paint can conceal visible warning signs, making it more difficult to monitor how the condition is progressing. Fungal growth is also more than a surface appearance issue. It can indicate that the wood has been exposed to moisture long enough for deterioration to begin. The amount of damage may vary from one area of the deck to another. Some boards may remain stable, while others may have lost enough strength that applying paint would not provide a suitable or dependable surface. Signs of serious damage include soft or spongy wood, cracks, visible rot, and brittle or crumbling boards. These conditions suggest that the affected wood may no longer provide the stability needed for a lasting exterior finish. A board that feels soft or breaks apart easily cannot be strengthened by paint. Cracks in deteriorated areas may also continue to hold moisture, allowing the underlying problem to remain active after the surface has been covered. The condition of nearby deck components should also be considered. Fungal growth may be concentrated on one or two boards, or it may affect a larger area where moisture has remained present. Looking only at the most visible spot may not reveal the full extent of the deterioration. A professional evaluation can help determine which sections are still stable and which areas require deck repair before painting begins. Replacing damaged boards before exterior painting restores a stable surface and helps paint perform as intended. New or sound wood gives the finish a more reliable surface for proper application. It also prevents severely deteriorated boards from being hidden beneath a coating that cannot correct their condition. Necessary repairs should be completed before the deck is prepared for paint. This sequence helps ensure that the finished surface is not applied over wood that will soon need to be removed. Otherwise, recently painted sections may have to be disturbed again when concealed damage becomes more noticeable or when weakened boards continue to deteriorate. Proper surface preparation, including completing necessary home repair, is essential before applying any finish. Preparation involves more than improving how the deck looks. The wood should be stable enough to accept the coating, and any conditions that may interfere with the finish should be identified first. Applying paint to an unsuitable surface can lead to an uneven appearance or a finish that does not perform as intended. Moisture conditions also matter because fungal growth can return when the environment that encouraged it remains present. Wet and humid weather, limited drying, and repeated moisture exposure can all affect exterior wood. Addressing the visible growth without evaluating the wood beneath it may leave the primary concern unresolved. The appropriate next step depends on the amount of fungal growth, the condition of the boards, and whether the deterioration is limited or widespread. A deck with surface discoloration and stable wood may require a different approach from one with soft, brittle, or crumbling boards. Confirming the condition before painting helps prevent damaged areas from being covered without the necessary repair. Exterior painting should be the finishing stage after the deck has been evaluated, damaged material has been addressed, and the remaining surface has been properly prepared. Paint can improve the appearance of a sound deck and provide a finished surface, but it should not be used as a substitute for deck repair. Ultimately, painting over fungal growth does not solve the underlying deterioration. When wood has been weakened, professional replacement of the affected material creates a more stable foundation for the exterior finish. Evaluating the deck first helps ensure that repair and painting are completed in the proper order. For homeowners in Pittsboro, wet and humid conditions can encourage fungal growth on wood decks. Regular inspections and timely deck repair can help prevent moisture damage and extend the life of your deck. If your deck shows signs of fungal growth or wood deterioration, Triangle Home Repair and Paint, a division of Triangle Home Pro, can help with professional deck repair, exterior painting, and home repair solutions for your property.